underway. A blowout in Boston. 2 minutes left here in the first half. Sam Hauser steals the inbound pass, feeds Jayson Tatum alone on the break, and he throws down the slam. Tatum with 21 points in the first half. That's his most in a first half this season. Late third quarter, Celtics up by 23 at this point. Inbound pass to Jaylen Brown in the corner, and he hits the catch and shoot three as the Celtics go on to win game one of this series against the Philadelphia 76ers. 123-91 is your final score. Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown both went off today. Over 25 points for each of them. Boston gets it done in game one. For much more on this, let's go ahead and bring in our own John Gonzalez for more. John, pure just dominance from Boston all around today. What were your takeaways as an unfortunate Sixers fan?
Sixers follower. Let's not use the fan word and throw that around. Unfortunately, I've been saddled with watching that team my whole life. Let's talk about the Celtics, who are actually a good team. And what my takeaways were, they're just so much better than the Sixers, right? I picked the Celtics to win this series in a sweep. And you saw what happened in game one. That's why. I mean, Jayson Tatum was phenomenal today, had 25-point double-double, throwing 7 assists, a couple of steals, played 32 minutes. This is a guy who missed 10 months with an Achilles injury, does not look like it. And the Celtics, Jordan, were already a good team before he came back. Jaylen Brown, he also had a good game. He goes for 26 points. Again, smattering of rebounds, some assists, a couple of steals, 30 minutes. I mean, the Sixers had absolutely no answer for either of those guys. And in a game where Derek White didn't even play that well, where some of their other players like Neemias Queta was fine, Hauser and Pritchard were fine. The bench, they didn't even need to go deep into the bench. The Celtics are infinitely deeper than the Sixers, and the Sixers' top-line talent, when you don't have Joel Embiid, they're in a lot of trouble. Even when they have Joel Embiid, I don't think that they'd even get a game off of this team. So, yeah, the Celtics are marching on sooner than later. You mentioned it, Jayson Tatum put up almost 30 points in this one, his first playoff game. When you look back at really his journey and that Achilles injury that you mentioned, what's been most impressive? Just how good he looks physically coming back, because the shots sometimes can desert him. Even when he was previously healthy, he could be a streaky shooter, but he does so many other things on the court well, and to do those things well, you have to move well, and Achilles is obviously a very tricky injury. It usually takes a year to come back. He comes back in 10 months, and he doesn't look like he had an Achilles injury at all. He's running the floor really well. He's rebounding well. The passing has been fantastic, and then that defense, that's what really sets him apart, Jordan, and it's the reason why he's a perennial first-team All-NBA selection when he's healthy. He can guard anybody in the league 1 through 5, so it just really levels up the entire Celtics team. And to have him back, I thought that they would have been contenders in the East if he had not come back at all. That's how good they were playing, and that's what a great job Joe Mazzulla did with less. He really gets a lot out of that team. But then you add him in, and man, they're the favorites in the East for me. Yeah, you mentioned this was already a good team before Tatum came back from his injury. Currently the favorites to win the East. Looking at this group as a whole, you saw the dynamic duo between him and Jaylen Brown. Are you confident that this is a team that can go on to win the championship? Win the championship? No, I have them in the finals. I have them losing to the Nuggets, but it wouldn't surprise me if they did win it all. They're the favorites in the East for a reason, and if they get to the finals, they could beat anybody. But I would still probably have whoever comes out of the West to beat them in the finals. But still, even getting to the finals this season, Jordan, when I thought, and a lot of people thought, that they were going to take a step back when Tatum blows out his Achilles, and then in the offseason, Brad Stevens dismantled the previous championship roster. He got rid of Drew Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis, Al Horford, Luke Cornett, and you're thinking, man, they're definitely going to take a step back, but they didn't, because that organization is so well run. In contrast to the Sixers, they do more with less, right? Joe Mazzulla goes and takes a guy like Neemias Queta, who was a role player, and elevates him to a critical starter. Sam Hauser and Peyton Pritchard, on any other team, I'm not sure that they are as good and as vital and as crucial to the winning prospects of the Celtics as they are on Boston. And then, a guy like Baylor Shireman, I think he'd probably be, non-Joel Embiid division, the third best player if you put him on the Sixers, which is ridiculous because he's just a rotation guy. So credit to the Celtics. They're really, really good up and down the roster. All right, let's focus on the Sixers now. What is most glaring after this blowout loss? Yeah, the answer is yes. This was one of those teams where I was hoping they were going to crash out of the play-in because they owe a top 4 protected pick to Oklahoma City because Oklahoma City has a zillion picks, right? The chances of them keeping that pick had they crashed out of the play-in were less than like 3%. I thought that was preferable to whatever this is, where they're going to get swept by the Celtics. And I don't think that this serves them well. I don't think it serves Maxey well or VJ Edgecombe. Maybe VJ gets a little bit of playoff experience. That's fine, but they're going to get swept here. And really, the only bright spots on that team are Maxey and Edgecombe. They did not come to play today. From the opening tip, they just got run off that floor. Jordan, they had more than 3 times as many turnovers as they had made threes. That's not good, right? I mean, like, even when Joel Embiid is out there, I don't think that this is a particularly good team. PG, he hasn't looked like the max money player the contract that they gave him. So this is a going home situation for the Sixers.
Ooh, all right, well, game 2, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Before we let you go, this game was in Boston at about 3 minutes left in this game. We heard Boston fans chanting, "We want Boston." Can you explain why?
Yeah, so when the Sixers were beating the Orlando Magic in the play-in, Sixers fans, and I think most of them were knowingly doing it as a tongue-in-cheek thing, but they were chanting, "We want Boston," right? And so Boston cleverly today was chanting it back at them as sort of a troll. I think Sixers fans were kind of in on the joke on that because everybody knows that the Sixers do not beat Boston in the postseason. They have not beaten the Celtics in the postseason since 1982. There's a Philadelphia sports writer who tweeted this out. He said that the Sixers haven't beaten Boston in a series without having either Wilt Chamberlain or Dr. J on the roster, and neither of those guys are available in this series. So very clever there. Shouts to Bob Vitrone Jr. I don't think that that's going to change in this series, Jordan.
No, I fear there may be some more trolling to come. That's for sure. Unfortunate for you, my friend. John Gonzalez joining us here for our post-game coverage on CBS Sports HQ. A dominant Game 1 victory from Boston. A busy weekend, by the way, in Boston. So 1 down, a few more to go. The Red Sox in action today. The Bruins in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Not in Boston, but in Buffalo. That should be a good one in the Boston Marathon tomorrow.
Almost out of bounds laying that up.
That was, I think, the final play of the first quarter as Celtics led 33-18 after 1. And Eddie, in total, they had 31 assists.
Yep.
Your thoughts on the ball movement tonight and the way they shared it?
It was hopping around. Jayson Tatum was the leader of that. He had 7. Derek White had 6. Peyton Pritchard had 6. And then everybody chipped in with some twos and fews, and 1 here and 1 there. But we talk about 31 assists on 45 field goals. That means the ball was moving around. They couldn't do anything. We weren't playing selfish basketball, or it was agenda-free basketball. Whoever was open, you make the right play, get it to the right guy at the right time, and they will finish most of the time open shot, or they will get a layup, or they will get a dunk. So I thought today was a great example of when we get 30 or more assists. We've been saying that 25 is the magic number. We get 30 assists, we're pretty much unbeatable.
And think about it, the Celtics shot the three-pointer good but not great. Like 16 of 44, 36.4%, certainly better than Philly did. But normally when that assist number goes to the moon is when guys are just unconscious beyond the arc. So there's just even another level they can get to. But to set that sort of tone, the ability to move the ball, get good looks whenever they wanted. And again, Nemi with the foul trouble wasn't even out there, and he's one of the easiest guys to toss it up there too. So I think they can even kick that number up. What we do need is we need some sponsor for like Eddie's post-game assist. Like if they hit 30 or more, I need like buzzers going off or something like that.
Am I going to get paid for that?
Of course.
I'm looking for $1 or $2.
Not only did they have 31 assists, but they also only turned it over 10 times.
Yes.
You see how many points the Sixers scored off turnovers?
What?
3.
3.
They had 3 points off turnovers.
And the Sixers had 15 turnovers. Guess how many points we scored off of that? Don't look down at the paper.
Sorry.
Oh,
22.
22.
I mean,
look, man.
We said coming into this series, live ball turnovers were going to be important for the Celtics to limit. And I thought they were sloppy early. Jaylen was a little loose with the handle, but that was about the only thing that went wrong. And for them to clean that up that quickly is really encouraging.
And they cleaned it up enough throughout the first half there. And again, it was 8-7, I think, a few minutes in. Celtics went on a 9-0 run. They had a 14-2 run in that first quarter. And then they're up by 18 at the half, Chris. they set the tone. I mean, this game ended up 32. Celtics win by 32, but they set the tone in the first half.
I give a lot of credit to Sam Hauser. You know, he was ready when the ball came his way and knocking down shots. Cato was activated before he got into the foul trouble. I mean, I know we'll focus on Jayson Tatum and how good he was, but setting everybody else up and getting all the guys to like feel good about themselves. And then there was no letdown. Like the bench, again, they kind of shook up the rotation a little bit. Jordan Walsh being the early sub, you know, having to go to Vooch early because of the foul trouble. Garza, all these guys came in and found a way to positively impact winning. It goes back to it, Eddie. Everyone is staying ready for their moment, and then obviously when your leaders are playing like this, it's easy, but I really like the way that everybody else found a way to contribute to it.
And you know what was getting overlooked in all this, because the way that they played offensively is how great we played defensively. You look at Maxey, had, 21 points on 20 field goal attempts. You look at Edgecombe, he had 13 points on 16 field goal attempts. And the only guy that was really, really efficient was Paul George, and he only took 8 shots. He went to the free throw line and made his free throws. But besides that, you start looking at those two guys. Those are the guys that drive the Sixers and they have driven the Sixers all season long, getting out in transition. We didn't let them get out in transition. We had made sure that we had gaps. They had opportunities where they scored and they were able to get down because they're really good players. But for the most part, they didn't get clear looks. They didn't get clean looks. They didn't get easy layups. We stopped them in transition, and they always seen a body, a secondary body. Whoever was guarding them, there was a secondary body and a third body as well that they seen that they had to try to get through, and they just could not figure out that puzzle tonight. And I think that, yeah, we were great offensively, but I think defensively always spawns the great offense.
And then you look at what Philadelphia did from behind the arc, 4 of 23. And Sam Hauser made as many threes as the entire Philadelphia 76ers team on this night.
Not going to beat the Celtics with that.
I don't think so. Let's send it back downstairs. Abby Chin standing by with head coach Joe Mazzulla.